How's it, chaps? Quick update and upgrade to the Burton Builds garage today. Something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, haven't got around to it, and it's been lying on the shelf for I don't know how long. Today is the day. We're going to be installing this PORTA keyless chuck onto the drill press behind me. Also looking at the Runout. That is basically the reason why I wanted a new chuck. Now, I've had this old keyed chuck. This is like the cheapest thing that you can get on this press for, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. I can't even remember where I bought it. It was probably about 10 years ago, 2011, 2010. I mean, it's been working fine, all good and well, but I'm trying to do some more accurate stuff nowadays. And also the key and the little gears here are slightly starting to wear out, so it's definitely time for a new one. But hang on, don't go anywhere just yet. This is not just a simple video about taking off an old chuck and putting on a new one. These PORTA chucks, I believe, are Italian chucks. It's first time I've heard of them, like quite a while ago, and I picked up one. So if any of you guys know of PORTA, the brand, or have any experience with them, how accurately they run, I believe these guys do chucks and tool accessories and that type of thing. You know, let us know in the comments so that we can start getting a bit of chat going back and forth. Yeah, so we're going to test this chuck compared to the old one. Now, I pretty much guarantee you that this is going to be a lot more accurate than this one. We're going to do that by using we're going to measure it by using a test indicator. I've got one here, and yeah, this thing's still sealed. So I'm probably going to have egg on my face if this new chuck is not any better than the old one. But you know, in all honesty, I don't mind. I'd rather share it with you guys as it happens. So, well, there's the chuck, and it's still in its packet. And yeah, this is a really nice chuck, eh? Very smooth in its action, and it's a 0 to 13B16 chuck. So I went with this one because I had a look at another couple from a couple of other shops, and they were similarly priced, but they were terrible. I mean, have a look at this. You can see that the construction looks a little bit light in the pants, and also the fingers don't close all the way evenly and consistently. And also, I mean, you guys can't really feel this, but when I was when I was turning the chuck or tightening and loosening it, it was quite notchy. So I'm very glad I went with the PORTA brand. And you know, coupled with the new chuck, we are going to put on, of course, a new arbor. It's always good practice to do that. Also, a PORTA arbor. This thing's also sealed up. Yep, sealed. Not going anywhere. So let's open that up. We'll just give the oil a little bit of a wipe off here, and wipe that out, stick this all in, and then well, hang on, we've actually got to measure this quickly. Yeah, just come in, let's have a look here. To make things a little bit easier for us to take some measurements, I've disconnected the belts from the top there, so our spindle is absolutely free. We can spin it as we need to. And the test equipment that we're going to be using today is a Mitutoyo test indicator. So I don't think there's going to be any problem with accuracy here. And then we're also going to use a no-go magnetic base, so just to make things a little bit easier. So we've got our indicator set up, and I'm just going to zero it out here with the fine adjust on the no-go base. Quite nice to have that feature, and you can see it's very sensitive. I suppose we could also just use our dial. There we go. And now if we just turn the spindle slowly, let's have a look what we see. Okay, the spindle is bouncing because there's a little scratch on there, but that's okay. But I mean, we can see there's pretty much no runout. At the moment, there's no runout. So spindle is really straight. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put something up, chuck something up in this chuck and see what the runout is on the chuck. We're going to use this tap. Now, this is the straightest piece of hardware that I've got. It's pretty much a very, very new tap. And just going to chuck that up here, and then we'll run the indicator quite high up, very near where the jaws clamp on to the tap. We'll also put the tap nice and high up into the jaws and give it a little bit of a tweak. There we go. We can tighten it 1, 2, and 3. Cool. I just need to get that indicator down to the bottom. Indicator's been set up again, and let's just zero it out with the fine adjust. There we go, onto 0, and we'll give the spindle a spin. And we can see it's not too bad, 0.01 millimeters, which is, you know, for a cheapish drill press, that's probably way more than accurate enough. But nevertheless, we're going to put on that keyless chuck and see what happens. These chucks are fairly simple to take off or to remove. You just need this little key. Now I hang mine on the side here, just so that I don't lose it. And basically there is a slot, but before we do that, just going to remove our test piece here, our little tap. Come on, man, this is why I hate this chuck. There we go, take that out. And if we move this down, our spindle here, you can see there's a little gap. And basically what happens is this little key goes in the gap. We also need to line up the spindle on the inside, and we put it in there. I'm going to need a hammer though. Now we should just be able to give this thing a little tap. Bear in mind this hasn't been out for a long time, so I don't know how easily it's going to come off. It should come off pretty easily. There we go. And it's out. So just as simple as that. Before installing the new arbor into the chuck and into the drill press, we're just going to wipe it off. It's got some oil on it. Of course, that's just to stop it from rusting as it stands on the shelf. But just inspecting it quickly here, it looks pretty good. It looks like a brand new item. Also just going to shove the rag inside here, inside the chuck, that is, just to make sure that there's nothing that's really going to be hindering the seating process that's going to happen here. Now this is a B16 taper to MT2, so B16 on the chuck and MT2 on the drill press side. So you guys, you know, if you guys order chucks or you want to buy stuff, just make sure that you get the right ones that match your specific chuck and your specific drill press. Generally they're going to be all the same, but you never know. Just make sure that you check and don't make that mistake. Otherwise you're going to be sending stuff back. Okay, that looks pretty damn good. I'm happy with that. So all that's left to do is to put it in. Now usually you could put this in the drill press and press it down. I'm going to get a piece of wood though. Hang with me. Just going to get a little piece of wood here and give it a bounce, just so that I know it's somewhat seated. You know, I don't want it falling onto the table here. Same inside here. So this one's a little bit more difficult to get into. The tape is a little bit longer. So I'm just going to use a screwdriver and stick this up here, give it a bit of a wipe out. Cool, that should do the trick. So same process as before, basically just the opposite really. Got to line up the spindle. I know you guys can't really see what's happening here, but inside there we've got to line up the spindle. Gee, let me bring you in closer. This is important, not something that you see every day. Installing the chuck, fairly simple, pretty much the opposite to what we did earlier. We've got our little gap here, and we make sure that the spindle is lined up. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully you can. And we'll put our chuck and spindle in there, and that's pretty much it. It should be gripping for now. We'll just let that off and maybe bring up a piece of wood here. I hope this is in frame, guys. If it's not, I'm sorry. Just give it a little bit of a pull down there, just like that. And there we go. New chuck installed, fairly simple. Okay, I did see that it was out of frame. Sorry about that. All I did was I put in a piece of wood here and wound the chuck down, just like that, and then gave it a bit of a press. Not too hard, but just hard enough to make sure that it's seated, and as soon as we start using the press, it'll seat itself quite nicely. Test indicator set up once again with the new chuck installed, and we're just making sure that Again, it is zeroed. I mean, you can see how sensitive it is once again. If I lean on the table here, it moves. And then we'll slowly run the spindle. And okay, it does bounce around a little bit. Again, there's that little scratch. But if you look, it's within 0.01 accuracy or run out, if you will. So again, that's the spindle. Next up is to stick our little piece here in the bottom of the chuck and measure that run out. And here we have it, the new PORTA chuck. We'll just zero out our test indicator, give the spindle a turn, and man, that is a lot of run out. What is that? That's like 0.14 millimeters of run out. So that's quite a lot. Although, just thinking about this now, this original chuck sits a lot higher up. So the bit of run out here, you know, if you're measuring run out over here and over there, the same amount of run out is going to be more pronounced the further away you get. So we'll revisit this just now. Let me take a couple of measurements and try and compare 100% apples with apples. Maybe we've even got a bent arbor. I mean, you know, a bad arbor, who knows? Well, or a bad chuck. So tomorrow is now today, and I had the evening to think about what the heck is going on. I really didn't believe this chuck would have that much run out. And also yesterday I didn't really have time to play around a lot. I really needed to finish up a project that I was doing. There was a whole lot of holes that I needed to drill, and I ended up using it just like it was, ended up already marking up the chuck. That was probably going to happen anyway. So over the evening I thought, you know what, let me just take the stuff out again, let me indicate everything from the top to the bottom. And that's why we've got set up at the moment. Starting off indicating the inside of that taper, of our quill or our spindle, if you will. And you know, I took this chuck out, you know, and I saw, hey, actually yesterday I did wipe it off, and there was a little bit of crud on there. So I had a look inside the taper, and there was actually, it wasn't as clean as what I thought. So I'll wipe that out. Hopefully it's a bit better now. So if we zero out our indicator, now I'm looking at an angle here, hopefully that is 0, error of parallax there. And we can see the inside of our spindle is what, it's half, 0.005, somewhere around there. Now this might not be the correct way to indicate the inside of that spindle, but it's the only way that I know at the moment. So that's fairly accurate. Let's move further down the line. So moving further down the line, just going to check now the run out on the top of the arbor. Got to get that nicely zeroed. There we go. And if we rotate it, we can see that we've got about, what is that, 0.01 run out. So yeah, not too bad. Let's move further down now to our chuck. So after having reseated and cleaned everything, pop the same bit back into the chuck, we can just zero it once again. And it should be better now, hopefully. Well, that's the low point. And we'll zero it there again. And you can see we've got, what's that, 0.012, 0.013, 0.014. So a heck of a lot better than what it was earlier. So I guess the key thing to take away here is make sure that all the mating surfaces are properly clean before you install and seat everything. Now, let's also not only test this piece here, but I've got some others. Well, let's take the indicator off there. And let's just compare it with some other bits that I've got. This is just another tap. So we can put that in there, give the chuck a nice tighten up, and zero it once again. And it looks like this one is not as straight, although, yeah, what's that, 0.02. Also not too bad at all. Could also be the way that it's clamping in the jaws. Let's test something else. Okay, last thing I've got here is a small countersinking bit. So we make sure that is in there properly and it's tightened up nice and snug. I'll just zero that once again. And there we go, 0.02. So guys, I think I'm fairly happy with those results, at least for a drill press like this. This is not a precision instrument by any means. It's not some fancy CNC or anything like that. It's just a cheap drill press and, 0.02, 0.03 millimeters of runout at the chuck. I'm pretty sure that's fine. Look, if you guys know any different or have any different experiences with that, let me know in the comments and let's get some chat going back and forth. So one thing I did want to touch on though is that old chuck. If you remember back to the beginning of the video, we indicated it and it had almost no runout in it. Now that was just blind luck. I had a closer look at these jaws, and as I say, on close inspection, I had a look at the points, and they were all burred over. All 3 points were burred over. So I just took a file, just carefully filed them off, and had a close look, up the jaw, just to see that there was nothing else, and they were perfectly clean. So I popped this one back in, indicated it with all 3 of these things, that you've seen now. So the 2 taps and this little countersinking bit, I indicated it over and over and over again because I really didn't believe it was had 0 runout in it. And there's an old piece of newspaper here. I wrote everything down and I did it a couple of times, and 0.16, 0.16, 0.17, 0.18. There was a 5th one actually, 0.18. So that was after in and out and in and out and in and out. Yeah, so that old chuck definitely had a bit of runout in it. It probably just needs to be serviced. Maybe it's a little bit worn. As I said, it's probably 10, 12, may even be 15 years old. I can't quite remember. Definitely older than 10 years though. Yeah. Also, what I wanted to talk about is, I didn't only use these 3 things. I mean, I have used these before. These are by no means also precision things to be indicating off, but I think they'll be fairly accurate. They haven't done hard work in their life. I also checked it on this center finding bit here. Now, a friend of mine, he turned that up for me a little while ago. Thanks very much, dude. I've really been using it. It's been a great help. That was also turned on a lathe, and I'm getting the exact same result if I take it in and out and in and out and in and out, a runout of 0.02 millimeters. So again, I think that's fairly accurate enough for what I need for now. Hopefully it stays this accurate. If you guys have had any experience with the PORTA chuck specifically, again, I don't know exactly if they are made in Italy or what the story is, or they're probably not. They probably made somewhere else and it's just the company was Italian and it's been bought by this one or that one, or, I mean, you know how it goes these days. But I was having a look at their precision chuck. I mean, they do a whole lot of things, but their precision chuck, the spec sheet says maximum runout of 0.04 millimeters. This is not the precision version. This is just the normal industrial version, and we're getting less than that. So according to their specs, pretty good. Yeah, guys, thanks for joining me. Stick around. There's going to be a couple of other videos. As you've seen, there's been a restoration. There's a couple more coming, a couple of more of those restorations coming up. And hopefully another 1 or 2 little builds. Guys, thanks. Please like, subscribe, comment on the videos. It's always nice to hear from you guys. And to all my viewers that regularly watch, guys, thanks very much. Yeah, we'll see you next time. Cheers.